In the beginning of 1972, Bowie was already performing as Ziggy and the Spiders, slowly building notoriety, but still not finding the big breakthrough he was hoping for. When he wrote Suffragette City, he didn't think it would be suitable for him at first, so he offered the song to the band Mott the Hoople, whose laddish attitude he thought more appropriate. The band refused politely, informing Bowie that they were splitting up after realizing that they will never make it. Bowie was upset and asked them to reconsider, promising he would produce their next album and write a hit record for them, if they do. When the band heard the demo of All the Young Dudes, they couldn't believe their luck and immediately took the offer. It was recorded on May 14th, with Bowie and Mick Ronson producing, and Bowie joining in on the chorus. When they were done, Bowie collapsed on the floor of the studio in disbelief, realizing he just gave away a massive hit, his ticket to stardom. In the end, though, it all worked out for the best. Less than a month later, he released the Ziggy Stardust album, and another month later he made his big breakthrough, performing Starman on Top of the Pops. And All the Young Dudes was out there as well, to magnify his fame as a songwriter. Ziggy performed it in concerts, and Bowie recorded his own version in 1973 with slightly different lyrics. But I decided to analyze the original Mott recording, because this is the classic. Take it away, guys. I'd kick it in the head when he was 25. Speed jive, don't wanna stay alive when you're 25. The beginning of the record ties it to The Who's iconic youth anthem My Generation, and its assertion, I hope I die before I get old. Billy is a teenager who believes your life is over once you become an adult and have to conform to the rules of bourgeois society, so he vows to kill himself once he reaches the age of 25. And when he's stealing clothes from Marks and Sparks, and Freddy's got spots from ripping up the stars from his face, funky little road race. These lines, however, confirm that we are not talking about 1965, the mod era, but about 1972, the glam era. Stealing clothes from stores was something the mods did as well, but glittering your face with stars was a glam thing. The generation and the style may have changed, but the essence, the belief that youth is superior to adulthood, remains. The television man is crazy, Sam with juvenile delinquent Rex. Oh man, I need TV when I got T-Rex. Oh brother, you get, I'm a good dad. The young dude, hey dude, carry the news. Where are you? Stand up, carry the news. In 1974, Bowie gave his own interpretation to this record, and claimed it is a continuation of 5 years. According to his interpretation of the Ziggy story, which he was contemplating turning into a play, it takes place in an apocalyptic world where there is no law and order, which means that the people can get whatever they want. Thus, the kids no longer need rock and roll, the sound of youthly satisfaction. The rock star Ziggy, instead, starts to sing them the news, which they can no longer get on TV. According to Bowie, this is also what All the Young Dudes is about a world where the kids, and the rock and rollers themselves, need to pass each other the information, since the media doesn't do it anymore. I wouldn't give too much credence to Bowie's interpretation of Ziggy Stardust. It actually sounds much closer to the plot of Diamond Dogs, the album he was working on at the time. However, it does give us a clue on how to understand All the Young Dudes. The youth can no longer relate to what the TV tells it, and needs the TV only to watch current rock bands like T-Rex, because only they provide it with useful information. The youth have a new consciousness which the adults cannot comprehend, and the kids have to pass on the information from one to another, to carry the news, in order to develop it. Like a mule, it's a real mean team, but we can love. Oh yes, we can love.
Messing up gender categories was one of the main components of glam. Lucy is a boy who dresses like a homosexual, but he isn't a sissy. He can fight like the best of them. These lines in particular are responsible for turning all the young dudes into a gay anthem, as young gay kids took "We can love, oh yes, we can love" as an affirmation that homosexuality isn't just about sex, but can also be about love.
And my brother's back at home with his Beatles and his Stones. We never got it off on that revolution stuff. What a drag. Too many snags.
The generational gap is reopened. We, the glam kids, are not the continuation of the 60s, but a rebellion against it. Those who are still listening to the Beatles and the Stones, and dreaming about the hippie revolution, are outdated, and we consider them a drag.
I drunk a lot of wine and I'm feeling fine. Gotta raise some cap to bed. Oh, is there concrete all around, or is it in my head? Yeah, I'm a new man.
The last part gives us another dose of gayness, as the singer wants to race a cat, slang term for a young man, to bed. More importantly, it places the record in urban surroundings and an urban state of mind. In short, all the glam ingredients are here to make all the young dudes the quintessential glam anthem.